Hello, I'm Steve Dahl for the Ormond Beach Historical Society. I've lived in Ormond Beach for over 60 years now. I grew up with these fascinating stories of old Indian mounds and plantation ruins and graveyards back in the woods in this area. And over the years I've come to find out that most of these stories are true. So let's take a little trip down the road and back in time to when the first settlers in the area made their homes along the banks of the river called Tomoka. We're here in Tomoka State Park at what is known as the Tomoka Mound Complex. We're here with park manager Philip Rand, who's going to brief us a little bit about what went on with these mounds. So Phil, exactly how many mounds have been researched so far?
Well, first of all, the Tomoka Mound Complex used to be known as 10 mounds, but Dr. John Indonino, doing some research here from Eastern Kentucky University, has now found 2 more. So there's 12 mounds that are in this Tomoka Mound Complex.
Now, how old are these mounds, and exactly what were they used for?
The mounds, most of them date around 4,900 to 4,600 years ago. I believe there's one, the oldest one is 5,000 years old. There's a couple that were put in a couple thousand years ago later, which is kind of unusual. They may have come from the Nokoroko area. So these mounds, which is kind of unusual, were predominantly burial mounds. So they have burials in almost all of them. Below the surface, they have sand coverings over the burials.
Now let's move on to another area of the park where these mound builders, some of them, built their own houses. This is the site of Nokoroko, believed to be the second largest Timucuan settlement on the Florida Peninsula. The Timucua were not a tribe as we understand it, but a number of Native American communities across North Florida who shared the same language and culture. We know of them through the records left by early European explorers who visited their villages. Once the Timucua numbered in the tens of thousands, but through attrition, disease, and tribal conflicts, they had all but disappeared by the late 1700s. But where the Timucuans had vanished, a new generation of settlers stepped in. This was the birth of the plantation era,